on health tech and tech. And in terms of stages, what we are focusing on is mainly pre-seed and seed, as well as limited exposure to Series A. Geographic focus is mainly Europe, with limited exposure to the Middle East, depending on the alignment with the investment thesis, and a little bit in the US, again, in alignment with the investment thesis.
Great, thank you very much, Mick. Very well experienced for sure. Can I pass the mic on to the box right next to him? We have Nabil Nazar from Saudi.
Thanks, Basem. My name is Nabil Nazar. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Al Sulaiman Investments, which is a Saudi family office based in Jeddah. The office has invested in regional startups in the past, although right now it's not exactly our focus, as we kind of start to harvest some of those investments. On a personal level, I've been a mentor at Endeavor and Flat Six Labs, both here in Saudi, in Bahrain, and elsewhere. So I'm always trying to support, courageous entrepreneurs, the heroes who have the guts that I personally don't, to take the plunge and chase your dreams. So well done for really taking the plunge. That's more than I think most of us have done. And just trying to support and mentor the ecosystem, and wishing you all best of luck. Seriously, we're learning here from you, not the other way around.
Fantastic, thank you, Nabil. The box right next to you, we have Amr Fatayr. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, pleasure meeting you. So I started my career in Lean Six Sigma, then moved into management consulting. Before joining Deloitte, I set up a corporate turnaround practice in the Middle East. And then I moved to Majid Al Futtaim, set up their corporate VC. And the last 2 years I spent running my own VC as well. Focus has been on disruptive and enterprise-based tech. And similar to Michael, we were looking geographically spread. So most of the investments we've done were in Europe and a few also in the Middle East. Pleasure to meet you all.
Thank you, Amr. The box right under you is Omar Agha from Jordan. Can you please introduce yourself?
Thanks, Basem. My name is Omar Agha. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Insperity Ventures, a company I've been working at for the past 3 years, but it goes back 7 years. I'm also one of the founding investors in an exciting company called Immensa 3D Labs. It's one of the leading regional additive manufacturing companies. Historically, I'm a corporate person. I've managed a few companies, and I used to be the chief information officer for one of the largest banks in the region, Arab Bank. Currently, I sit on the board of about 7 or 8 companies, and I'm an angel investor. So I look forward to this event and to seeing some of the exciting pitches. Thanks.
Fantastic, Omar. Thank you so much. I see Faris Al-Rashid. حيا الله فارس, كيف حالك؟
يا هلا والله. مساك الله بالخير.
Allah يبارك فيك. Can you please give us a quick snapshot about yourself and some of your background?
Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Faris Al-Rashid. I'm the managing partner for Diraya Ventures. It's a VC fund with 115 million riyal. We are focusing in early stage companies, mainly in Saudi and MENA. Today, we have almost 13 companies in our portfolio, total GMV of 15 billion riyal. This is the VC. I'm also the founder and chairman of Uqal Group. Uqal Group is the first angel network group in Saudi Arabia. We started in 2011. Today, we invested more than 90 companies. One of them was Kareem, the first unicorn in Middle East.
MashaAllah.
And also other companies. Yeah.
Go ahead, MashaAllah, and many more to come, Faris.
Thank you.
It sounds like there's a few in the making as well. Were you involved in Mom's World by any chance?
No, unfortunately not.
You missed out on that one.
But I know Mom's Word from long time.
Yes, yes. Fantastic, fantastic company. All right, Preeti, please. Thank you, Faris. Can we go on to Preeti, please? Preeti, please.
Namaste from India. My name is Preeti Chaudhary. I am a founder, startup ecosystem builder, nurturer, and enabler, a mentor at several incubators and accelerators spread all over the country in India. I'm also a speaker and a global judge of competitions like this and several others. I also represent a bunch of angel investors and a few VC funds, so I'm always on the lookout for good startups. Geographical location being from India, but for some of my principles, it is all over the world. Pleasure being here, Basem. Thank you very much for the invitation. Good luck to everybody presenting today. Remember, you have only 3 minutes, so make the most of it. And happy to get connected to all the new friends right here. Thank you very much, and it's back to you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Preeti. Can we pass the mic? I see you guys all in boxes. So there's the box right underneath is Uraib Kazimi.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Uraib Kazimi. It's a pleasure being here with you today. Thank you very much for putting this together. I'm here representing Dubai Angel Investors. We're an angel group slash micro VC based out of Dubai. We've been active since 2016. We're always on the lookout for interesting opportunities, and so that's why I'm here today. I'd like to wish all the companies the best of luck, and I'm happy to connect. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Uraib. Tariq, Fuad, there's 2 of you, so you can decide which one you want to be today, please.
Great, thank you so much, Basem. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Unicorn Battle. I've been on the government and startup side for probably past 10 years. I've worked with Sharjah Entrepreneurship Center, Shira, as a venture builder. Probably have seen many of the startups pitching in today. I've also been on the side of Hub 71, building Abu Dhabi's ecosystem as VP of Operations and Community. And I've advised the startups over the past 5-10 years. And now I head the growth function at Shuruk Partners. We're a leading VC firm in MENA region. Our markets that we are interested in is Saudi, Egypt, UAE, Pakistan, and Turkey. We look at companies as early as pre-seed, and we have interest up to Series A or late Series A stage. Looking forward to meeting all the startups today and right after. Feel free to reach out, and good luck to everyone.
Thank you, Tariq. Can we introduce the lovely Jean, please, Dr. Jean?
Hi, everyone. Good to be here with all of the bright minds. My name is Dr. Jean Shadadpuri. I'm a pediatrician by trade or training, but have gone through a career of corporate entrepreneurship to starting a few initiatives and startups of my own in US, UAE, mostly US and UAE. In my corporate career, I've been at the C-level for in the US mostly, working for the biggest payer in the nation and some of the hospitals like Stanford and Northwestern. In my entrepreneurship stints here, I've mostly worked on healthcare tech sectors where we've identified the consumer needs that most of the corporates aren't able to cater to, and converted clinical knowledge into a platform that is accessible to the users and the community and the population to benefit out of. I just want to say there are no bad ideas, so please be bold and put yourself out there. There will be somebody who would support you, and if not, there is a lot of learning in every idea. So we're looking for opportunities mostly in USA and UAE, and I'm hoping to meet some bright minds today.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jean. Thank you very much. Okay, and Muhammad Mahfouz Abu Abdullah. He has some fantastic experience in this space.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Basem. It's a wonderful opportunity to be here. Thank you very much. From my background, I spent most of my professional career in startups, either setting up or doing angel investment or advising angel investors and mentoring startups. Most of the close to 15 years, it was in European startups, and going back and forth between UAE and Europe. And I work in many countries around the world. So that's like where I spent most of my career, different sectors, mostly technology, of course, but we touch manufacturing, aviation, healthcare, all kind of things. Currently, I'm a founder and CEO of a company that provides, Dagga, that provides advisory and the concept of tokenization. So basically a new method of fundraising and managing assets and equity and all kind of exciting things. So thanks for giving me the opportunity, and looking forward to looking at these startups. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you, Muhammad. Can we have Khalid, please, to join us? Khalid, can you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here. Well, my background has been for over 16 years from both sides, investment and basically founding enterprises. We've been doing business in over 9 countries so far. Right now, our focus is R&D, startup studios for information and agricultural technology. And I'm excited to be here. Looking forward to learning more and discovering new startups.
All right, welcome on board, Khalid. Thank you very much. And with that, I think we can have a big round of applause for the judges. So I'd like to see the investors. I don't think I've missed anybody. We've all been there. Thank you. All right, so for the judges, just some house cleanup rules. So we do have the sessions recorded right now. So in case anyone would like to, just let's be mindful of everything for everybody, that is. Secondly, judges, can you please log into your, in parallel to the screen, log into the platform that you registered on, or that you have that I sent you that link, and that's where you will vote. You will get a screen there that will have all the startups there, and that's just a simple number for you to vote after each startup. You can just click on that number. From there on, we will tally those in the end so that we can get the winner from there. Okay, so that's in regards to the judges. For the startups, can I please remind you not to please mention your capital requirements because of some SEC rules that we're trying to avoid publicly listing or brokering some of these deals. That's not the case. So for you, just if there is an ask, that could happen privately in terms of what your capital requirements are. Okay. And with that, we would like to start with, if we can start with, we're going to shuffle this up because of the requirements of 2 gentlemen that are a bit limited with their scope. So maybe if we can start with Rehan from My Next Health. Can you please share your screen, and by doing so, you will have 3 minutes to present. We will have 3 minutes of questions and answers, and then the next startup will take place.
Okay, wonderful. Let me just share my screen over here. Can everyone see it?
Yes.
Oh, okay, excellent. And let me just get the slideshow going. Give me 1 minute to set up. Okay. Okay, so I'll just do this. Hello, my name is Rehan Huda, and I'm with My Next Health, and here's my corporate presentation. My Next Health vision is to improve healthcare by being a dominant company in transitioning the world from the conventional medicine to precision medicine. And the unique insights we have come from 10,000 case studies we've done with Dr. Mansour Mohammed, who's been shortlisted for a Nobel Prize in Medicine for the work he's done in genetics. Putting this genetics work together with the AI and machine learning with IBM, we think we've had some tremendous breakthroughs. In terms of our team, Dr. Richard Heinzel is our Chief Executive Officer. He was a winner of the Nobel Peace Prize with the work he's done with Doctors Without Borders, an Oxford and Harvard trained specialist in preventive medicine. Dr. David Liepert, a Stanford trained anesthesiologist, intensivist, one of the top quality assurance people in healthcare in North America, and Dr. Mansour Mohammed, our Chief Scientific Officer, who's been published in all of the top papers and considered like the Stephen Hawking's of genetics. His work has been shortlisted for a Nobel Prize in Medicine with Dr. Stephen Scherer. Our board of directors, Rudy Mazashi, has been twice Global Entrepreneur of the Year in biotech. He's taken over 15 companies from zero to multi-billion-dollar exits. We have myself there. Our fund helped put the deal together, and General Wesley Clark was a well-known US politician, military general, and Bernie Rice, ex-executive of IBM. In terms of our business lines, we have 3 business lines. Clinical trials, we have an application for insurance industries, and we have developed an app with IBM for not only coronaviruses, infectious diseases, influenzas, etc., and some tremendous data with their AI and machine learning. And so our business line are basically 3. We can improve clinical trials by our genetic insights. We can take failed clinical trials and help them get repurposed with our innovative genetic insights. We have some breakthrough insights on breast cancer, prostate cancer. We believe with the studies we've done with one of the leading children's hospitals, we have now found the root causes of 80% of the cases of autism. There's a breakthrough white paper that's coming there. We've built an application with IBM for COVID. It's been now applied to other infectious diseases. Over a year and a quarter ago, we started putting in the data. We have predicted everything about COVID in terms of all the genetic related risk issues, which drugs would work, wouldn't work, what type of genetic types would benefit from certain treatments. We ran it through 60 million patients, 30 billion insurance claims records at IBM, and some tremendous insights for COVID and coronaviruses and infectious diseases. We have used this platform for insurance risk now, working with some of the top insurance companies. We now know that we can be able to look at people's genetic types just from a questionnaire we've put with all that AI machine learning information, and based on that have the insurance companies better assess their risks. So these are the 3 business lines.
Sorry, that was my alarm for your 3 minutes, and I think you're pretty much done on your last slide there.
Yes, exactly, just in time. I've never done a 3-minute presentation before. It's my first time, and so I hope I'm able to get it across.
It is, Reha. There's a lot to digest in that, but sounds very exciting. So if any of the judges have any specific questions they'd like to ask, otherwise maybe I'll start by saying, if you've cracked COVID, I mean, why aren't people throwing money at you already?
We're just putting everything together right now. We literally finalized some of our corporate structures a couple of weeks ago. We're going to be releasing some of the data, root causes of breast cancer, autism, or analyzing COVID from A to Z. And not only that, for other infectious diseases. It's been a groundbreaking work. We literally, incorporated the company a couple of weeks ago and putting everything together. So it's been quite remarkable. We've published some one paper on COVID early on, but now all the data that's coming out is proving what we're doing.
Fantastic. Any of the other judges would have any questions?
Hi, Rehan. This is Dr. Jean. I can go. So is this more of a data aggregator for academic purposes, or are you trying to turn this into a commercial product for marketplace?
Excellent question. No, it's a commercial product. We have 3 commercial products. One is our genomic analytics. They'll be applied to clinical trials. Already a couple of leading clinical trial companies are in joint venture discussions with us. So we can, most clinical trials, even the COVID trials that are happening right now, most of them will fail. majority fail, highly risky business. With our genetic insights, we're able to reduce the risk and let people know in advance what trials would work and what wouldn't. Then we have for the insurance industry a unique risk assessment with the application we built with IBM. And then we also have applications for governments, large healthcare institutions with our COVID app, not only to protect populations from coronaviruses, other infectious diseases, et cetera. So we have a commercialization pathway for all this research that's been done.
Maybe just a follow-on question to that. What would you say will be your core focus of the business for the next 1 to 2 years? The areas that you explained, they are definitely very exciting, no doubt, right? They're also extremely broad. And when it comes to deploying your capital, really focusing on building up the business, sometimes it can be a little bit tricky. Maybe you can help me understand that a bit more.
Yeah, exactly. With this type of platform, you have so many areas you can go into. And so we've been working with our consultants here and at Morgan Stanley, their biotech group out of Boston. And we're specifically looking at clinical trials. I mean, how we can improve the success of clinical trials by adding our analytics to existing trials, repurposing failed trials, et cetera. So that's one area there is definite need for. Secondly, we do have the product built, our application with IBM, we've been building out with them, and we will be launching to insurance companies as well as governments, healthcare payers, and that. So those are specific focus that we'll be working on.
Rayan, do you have any confirmed contract or a revenue stream already?
I know we just incorporate everything, finished the R&D, and so, but we do expect, we have a joint venture offer with the leading drug repositioning company that came out of Pfizer here in Pennsylvania, and so that would be almost immediate revenues. We have some of the largest insurance companies looking at a risk assessment program, and we think that'll be revenues relatively quickly as well.
Okay,
can I just, do we have time for another one?
Okay, just a quick one, Amr, because we're about the, yeah.
All right, I'll be quick. Just curious, how are you collecting data at this stage, and how are you planning to structure it in the future to ensure continuity and also compliance with the global standards of data sharing?
That's an excellent question. We're working with IBM and their AI Watson team and that. So the data we have is HIPAA compliant. We made it compliant in Canada as well for Healthcare Canada. And so in all of the rules we're following with healthcare related data, we have that. And so we will ensure top secrecy in that. And we have our consultants working in that area. Not only just the data, privacy, et cetera, but some of the material is so sensitive, and we're very serious on the security aspect of it as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Rehan. Appreciate that. That was a lovely presentation, and thanks for the judges for the Q&A. Can we go up next with Eduployment, please? Judges, this is where you can just go onto that site and just give Rehan a number if you can find that box, log in and just give him a number. So next we will have Eduployment by Mazen, and I think your co-founder is on the other screen pitching at or looking at another competition. So please, Mazen.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
See my screen? All right, very good. Thank you. So first of all, assalamu alaikum and hello. I'd like to start with just a bit of background. I'm Mazen Omer, co-founder of Eduployment, a tech platform with the mission of helping to eradicate poverty by educating and employing blue-collar workers. I'd like you to meet Ali, who started working at the age of 14 to support his family in Pakistan until he paid an agent $1,300 for a job in Dubai. Unfortunately, there was no job, and Ali had to sleep on the streets for 2 nights until, in his own words, an angel saved him. Ali is not the only one. Over 1 billion people live in moderate poverty, many of whom face similar challenges. Because of limited jobs at home, their best option to break out of poverty is employment abroad. But they lack the required English skills, access to the jobs, and the funds to pay the recruiting agency fees, ranging from $900 to $3,000. Eduployment is an online recruiting platform for blue-collar workers, enabling them with English skills and employing them with companies committed to decent work, thus empowering them with a lifetime of upskilling and employment. To magnify the uplift effect, employers' fees are passed to the hired candidates to uplift friends and family, and will provide them with an opportunity for scholarship, which pays for one of their children's university tuition. For the candidates, we engage them in their native language to onboard them and teach them English online. In parallel, they can apply, interview, and get hired for jobs, all for $1.50 a month. For employers, we provide an efficient online hiring process of qualified candidates with no minimums and reduced costs. Employers choose whether to uplift 5, 7, or 10 people with the placement fees they pay for each hire. What sets us apart from competitors is our focus on blue-collar workers and their upskilling. In phase 1, we're targeting GCC countries for employers, and for candidates, the Indian subcontinent, Egypt, and the Philippines, leveraging digital advertising, PR, sponsorships, and a direct sales team for employers to penetrate these markets. We've launched version 1 of the candidate app, and in late July, early August, we'll be launching version 2, which adds in the employer and job functions, to be followed by a proof of concept period and phase 1 launch in January. Our version 1 MVP exceeded plans by almost 300%, generating over 6,600 registered users. We've also validated our employers' value proposition with major enterprise accounts. By year 3, we forecast having 1.6 million candidates, with 342,000 of them placed in jobs, helping us achieve $39 million in revenue with an EBITDA exceeding 50%. We know this is possible because of the significant market size we're addressing. Our targets represent only 0.25% of the candidate population and 3% of the recruiting market. As the founders of EduPluyment, we're also employers of blue-collar workers and bring over 58 years of experience in tech and other industries to solve this problem. Our vision for 2024 is to have uplifted 7.6 million individuals. We know we can do it. We did it with Ali and many of his colleagues. Today, with upskilling and decent work, Ali has become a manager and single-handedly uplifted every person in these pictures. We look forward to having your support with EduPluyment. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Mazen.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So, Q&A, judges?
Mazen, just one question. Are these skilled or non-skilled workers, and do they need English and other skill sets to do some of the work? And if they do need that, then how are they going to understand your platform if they don't not proficient in English?
Excellent question. They're mixed. It's a mix of skilled and unskilled. It's blue-collar workers. So whether that's a car mechanic or a waiter at a restaurant, what have you. Your point about the English skills is key. That's what we're focusing on. That's why every touch point we have with them, from the digital advertising to our platform, is localized into their vernacular. So whether they speak Hindi or Tamil or Malayalam or Urdu or Arabic, everything's addressed to them in their language, including the English education from their native vernacular. In order to enable that. That's the access issue we're trying to solve. And so, with 3 months training, 30 minutes a day, they can improve their English proficiency by 1 level, when there's only 6 levels in that standard.
Do you have any ground force to help them technically with getting on the platform?
No, this is a complete online platform. Again, we've tested it. We've managed to onboard 6,600 in under 6 weeks. And that was, quite with no agencies. And that's the whole point. We're trying to cut out these middlemen. We're trying to disrupt that ecosystem of the recruiting agencies that scam them and take advantage of them, etc.
On that, if I may, just a follow-on question, great presentation. The middleman, my understanding is a lot of the employers, they do this for lack of a better term, in bulk. So they don't really hire by the individual, but rather by the groups. Your typical contracting companies, and a lot of it, like you said or pointed to, they do it on either through an agent or on-site. So how does your platform attend to their needs and their consideration?
Thank you, Amar. Fantastic question. So those would be what we consider enterprise accounts that have a large number of candidates that they need to hire. So we've validated that with them. One of them particularly had 65,000 employees. They hire 1,500 blue-collar workers per month, and now they're looking to hire 3,000 per month. And they were using these external agencies as well as offsetting the cost to these agencies. So they pay zero. Running them through our platform, the value proposition that we have, they're happy. They came back with your cost is good. So our minimum cost is $45 compared to zero. They're happy to hire because of the value proposition of better qualified candidates, English trained, everything's online, no middlemen. And oh, by the way, they get to have a do-good factor and a CSR aspect as doing business as usual, reducing their cost by over 80%. So to them it's reduce cost, faster, better, and do good. It's kind of hard to say no to that, at least based on what we've talked about.
We can squeeze one last question from Preeti, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Mazen, excellent presentation. Thank you. I'd like a little bit more insight on your competition landscape, especially when you have plans for entering into India and your largest competitor, and I've seen the name right there, Apna, and
Yes.
that is just raised here as well. So what will be your strategy and how are you going to take on the likes of Apna in my country? Over to you. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you for the question. Excellent question. So Apna at the moment is exclusively focused on India. We're global by definition. India is only one of our initial 7 countries that we're targeting. I mean, we just started there with our test. Apna has zero social impact angle, zero value add, zero upskilling. They're connecting the candidates and the employers on a WhatsApp channel. So we believe our value add services are significant. Plus, our focus is on employment abroad, where candidates can earn 3 to 4 times more than what they can earn domestically. We look at Apna. Yes, they are a competitor, but in our space, because we're focused on the impact, it's not a zero-sum game. So if they can manage to employ 100,000 people and we employ 100,000, fantastic. The fact that they've raised up to $90-some million and valued at $572 million on zero revenue, we think that's a great benchmark and validation of the space that we're in. Thank you for the question.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Mazen, thank you so much. That was very exciting. I like the social impact component part of that. It's always lovely to see that. Okay, we'll pass on the mic to Open Bonnet, please. Gaurav?
Hi.
Yes.
Hi, yes. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
What an interesting afternoon this is turning out to be. Hi, everyone. My name is Gaurav. Should I just start introducing Open Bonnet to the esteemed panel over here?
Yes, please, go ahead.
All right,
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Well, I'll just quickly dig into the problems that we saw in the auto aftermarket. The vehicle owners have a very unorganized landscape, and they are not very sure about which garage to go to. There are independent service providers in the aftermarket who also don't have a branding of their own. There are manufacturers and distributors of consumables who are trying to shorten the supply chain, and the value should be passed on down the stream. So in that kind of a ecosystem, we thought there was a lot of requirement for standardization and improving the quality that prevails in the sector. That's where Open Bonnet has come in as a democratic marketplace. It's the first one and the only one so far in the region, which is a democratic marketplace connecting the workshops to the customers through a fully digital experience, right from the time of looking for the customer till the time of the car is serviced. You get to have notifications, and your entire workflow is digitized, be it repair, service, or tires and battery, etc. There are different features available on the platform, which are all tied to our 3 key pillars, which is transparency, convenience, and quality. What is our footprint? We have 61 workshops, or as we call them, partner garages across Dubai and Sharjah. In Abu Dhabi, we have 10 garages, so that's a 70-odd number. We launched late in 2019 after a brief pause due to the COVID scenario in 2020. We got a lot of positive feedback in the market, and a lot of momentum has started happening. There have been several organic partnerships, which in the first phase of our growth, we have tied up. These were meant to sustain the company on a customer acquisition model without increasing the burn rate from the start. So all the top companies have tied up with us for their loyalty program. Now we are going after strategic use cases. And Total Lubricants recently, we worked with Yala Motor also. There are some used car companies who are in advanced stages of tying up with us, and each of them is backed up by a strategic use case. We won some awards by Frost & Sullivan and MEA Markets also recently. So the dynamics that are changing are the key reason why a catalyst like Open Bonnet is changing the ecosystem. There are a lot of manufacturers and companies which are enabling the ecosystem, which were always at the back end of the workshops. Now in the new world, we are connecting them not just in terms of data, but also in terms of their supply chain directly to the car owners. A quick look at the competition map. It's in a nutshell, on a scale of affordability versus fully digitization, OpenBonnet is a unique player. There are some dealerships which are very expensive and just lead aggregators. There are some lead aggregator startups which have also come in, which are introducing them to a standard set of workshops. Where OpenBonnet is different is that it's a marketplace. It's not just car owners who are our customers. It's also the service providers. We represent them in their brand name on the platform and bring the workshops to them. So they really prefer this kind of an environment where their skills can be put to use, and they can create a brand for themselves. A few.
Gaurav, I'm really sorry. This sounds really exciting because you're going to resolve half the world's problems of cars in this area. I mean, it's such a big problem, and you've run out of time effectively. But maybe you can continue talking about some of these slides with the questions that might be paused.
Sure.
So
sure.
Please, our judges, go ahead. Thank you for that presentation, Gaurav.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Gaurav, any plan to vet the workshops and evaluate their skill set to maintain QC and the genuineness of spare parts, etc.?
Sure. So right from the start of onboarding, the time when we are scouting for these garages, we are looking for a definite parameter on a scale of 1 to 10. Let's say we are looking for that spot of from 4 to 7, where the garages are equipped. They have the knowledge, they have the skill set to have a digital interface. However, they have not done that so far. We kind of track all their infrastructure, their mechanics. We bind them into a SLA-driven contract, which is signed off between the two parties and monitored on a periodic basis. All this information is fed into our system where it's available for us, and periodically it's updated. Along with that, they provide a genuine spare parts guarantee and a 45 days labor warranty for the customers.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sharma. Can you just tell us what's your business model? I didn't get it.
Sure. So the business model is commission driven. That was the next slide. So we earn as the workshops earn. Once we bring a customer to them, it's going to be a commission driven structure where we are going to be earning once the customer makes a payment. Payment comes to us, and we pass on the rest after deducting our commissions to the workshops. So completed jobs, spare parts, when we are starting to source spare parts on our own now, and that has got a higher commission structure. In fact, that's our next phase of growth also. And there are some ancillary income streams like lead generation for rent-a-car companies, etc. When we have a set of car owners reaching out, then we can introduce them to many people in the ecosystem.
Any other questions? I'm sorry, I can't see all the hands up, so please forgive me if you'd like to jump in as a judge.
Gaurav, my question to you is, what gives you the right to earn this market?
So this is a market where till now the focus has only been on the car owners. There are a few attempts where the focus has been that the car owners should be taken through a digital journey by showcasing an app, etc. That is where we want to differentiate ourselves by actually representing the workshops to be coming up on the standardization curve. As you know, federal authorities also have this objective to bring in standardization across some 15,000 service providers in the country. And that's where OpenBonnet wants to uplift their current practices, their service quality, promise a minimum set of experience for the end customer, and eventually raise the standards that exist at these workshops in that process. So we are probably trying to be a network of standardized workshops. Wherever you go, you get the same experience, you get the same prices, and that's what OpenBonnet represents for you.
Okay, can we have the last question, Gaurav, from Amr Fatair?
Thank you.
Amr?
I think my question is, given that you're ultimately playing a marketplace business model and you're going to compete on the same customers and the same operators of workshops across the different markets here, and ultimately, given that it's a highly saturated market, there's going to be a race to the bottom if you don't have any unique value proposition above and beyond being a marketplace. So what is your niche in this case, and how are you going to optimize your margins to avoid playing that game of racing to the bottom?
Sure. So that is where the next mission is, to raise the funds, and we want to create that standardized set of services and features that I was talking about. It will be enabled through an OB Plus offering, which is where the preemptive diagnostics on the cars come into play through OBD ports, etc. There is a lot of resonance in the ecosystem by gathering the data of the car owners, which again connects us eventually to the revenue streams.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
so
Gaurav, we've sort of quite exceeded that quite a bit now. So thank you so much, Gaurav. Very exciting. I'm sure you'd want to take this offline with some of the judges. This is certainly going to resolve a major problem in this region.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the time, and thanks for inviting us.
Thank you very much. And, good. Can we get design hubs to be ready, please, next? So if you can.
Sure, but Gaurav should unshare his screen so that I can share mine.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nadeem, CEO at Design Hubs. Our vision is to create an ecosystem where the digital and physical realms merge into endless possibilities. COVID-19 drastically impacted consumer behavior and shifted digital transformation at least 5 years in the future. E-retail revenues are expected to exceed $6.5 trillion by 2022. There's 5 times increase in online shopping since 2020, and 25% are first-time online buyers. When you buy things online, you and I, and we return them, it's free for us, but this actually costed the online retail market more than $500 billion last year. In some regions, there are more than 30% products sold online returned. So at Design Hubs, we enable try-on augmented reality across any e-commerce website or app with an AI recommendation engine that enable a hyper-personalized shopping experience with size detection, fit, and product recommendation. Our spatial AR enables any furniture or home appliance retailer to place any product in your own space. Our try-on makeup AR enables you to try any makeup product, plus an AI recommendation engine that analyzes your facial features and skin tone and recommends product that would actually suit you. Our try-on eyewear AR, also powered by an AI recommendation engine that knows your size, your facial features, and recommends products that would suit your face. And our footwear AR as well. So AR drastically increases conversions, decreases return rates by over 50%, and consumers are 3 times more likely to buy because they are able to virtually try the products on themselves. We work with some of the largest global brands and retailers, from IKEA to Tata Click in India, part of Tata Group, and currently going live with an enterprise deals in the coming 2 weeks. We're also in post-demo stage with global brands and retailers from the US to Europe, to major companies as well across the globe. So at this stage, we're able to deliver more than 2 million engagements in 3D and more than 200,000 minutes spent on our AR engines. $80,000 in contract and more than $500,000 in contract post-pilot, and currently $300,000 in the pipeline awaiting signature. We currently have more than 8,000 brands and retailers in the pipeline, from companies based in the US, UK, and the GCC. From Fortune 1000 companies to Fortune 500 companies, we established global partnerships where we white label our AR engine and also have co-selling partnerships with top-tier technology companies. We're a B2B SaaS, enterprise SaaS. We charge dollars per SKU per month and a small like fee based on the number of engagements. We're the only company in the MENA offering this type of technologies. From competitors across the globe, we offer the most advanced AR engine with the highest quality, plus an patented AI recommendations engine that sits into the AR engine. We have 4 main categories where our competitors only have 1 and doesn't even compete with the performance and quality of the engine.
Okay, Nadeem,
our team ranged from second-time founders to team members who worked with previous top-tier technology companies, also advisors with previous exits, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Nadeem. I see a story here for international acquisition, maybe in the works. So without ado, let the judges please jump on their questions. Any questions from any of the judges?
Yeah, I have a question, Nadeem. What is the product? I mean, what do you have? Is it an engine that gets embedded into other products, or it's a final product by itself?
Exactly. Great question, Hamad. It's a 3D augmented reality engine that you can integrate across any e-commerce website or app. And we're currently offering 4 categories: eyewear AR, makeup AR, furniture, home appliances, which is a spatial AR, and the footwear AR.
Okay, great. Omar, can you ask your question, please?
Yes, thanks, Basem. Nadeem, you have quite a few competitors. So what would you say is your competitive advantage?
Yeah, Omar, great question. Just one thing as a disclosure: not any company that names themselves as an AR companies are an augmented reality company. So basically, let me tell you first from the customer's perspective, from our customer's perspective. So the big brands and retailers, the most important thing for them, us being in the market for the past 2 years, is having extremely high quality visualization. So basically, it's having a digital twin of the physical product, plus the recommendations engine, and of course detecting the exact size and size and fit. Our competitors do not have all these, and if the competitor so the competitors that I have shared with you overlap on one product category, so they only either offer spatial AR or makeup AR, and don't have the complete suite from end to end. Another thing is that we offer a complete digitization solution from the creation of the assets to integration and conversions. And this is something that the competition doesn't do as well.
Fantastic.
Nice presentation, Nadeem. Just quick question: how do you ensure a lot of masses can enroll into this application? Is there a way to make it free of charge and have your revenue stream from other places?
Great question, Dr. Jean. So basically, we started as B2B. We're targeting brands and retailers that have e-commerce presence. At this stage, we're taking this and all the knowledge that we have in B2B, and we're opening a B2C platform where we're going to offer our AR engine for consumers, basically for free, for influencers, I would say. And this platform is going to sit on top of all your social media platforms, such as Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. So we're going to offer influencers the ability to engage with their consumers using our AR engine for free. But what we're going to do is take a cut from the transactions, or from whenever a transaction happens. This is where we're going to take a cut. So, and we believe there's going to be a tremendous adoption here, and the opportunities are great and are huge in this sector.
Please watch out for the stores coming up with their own platforms, like IKEA has their own. I don't know if you've done that, but they have their own.
They have the app. They have the app, but what we do is, by the way, we work with IKEA. We're offering the web-based solution for them.
Okay, Nadeem, we need a separate session to dig into your product. It looks your offering. It looks fantastic. But because of the nature of the time, we'd like to thank you for this. And maybe if you can, if we can get Finial next with Layla.
Yes, hello everyone.
Hi, Layla.
Hi, let me just pull up.
So Layla's been in the news recently as well a few times, I guess. You're in the business of the news, actually.
Well, yeah, we're a media company, so you have to worry if we're not in the news. Okay, shall I start?
Yes, please.
Great. So hi everyone, I'm Layla, and this is Finial Media. So this is me and my 2 co-founders. On the right, you see Majid. He's half Emirati and half German. On the left is Mashari. He's half Saudi and half Kuwaiti. And then there's me in the middle, and I'm half British and half Palestinian. All of this to say that we're probably suffering from a little bit of an identity crisis. But what we share is a strong sense that we'd really love to reconnect with our Arab roots. But at the same time, we somehow feel very disconnected from the narratives that we're currently being served by the mainstream Arabic media. And 2 years ago, we realized something. We're not the only ones. Across the MENA region, young Arabs feel incredibly disillusioned by the narratives of Arabic media. And we have such a strong, rich history and culture in our region, but our stories are at risk of being lost because the media is not keeping up with the times. And when you ask young Khalijis what kind of content they really want to consume, 70% of them say they'd like to see more content that is based on their own history and culture. When you apply that to the podcasting space, you see something very interesting. In a region of 400 million people, we barely have 400 podcasts to serve those people. So we set about changing that. We created a podcast network that creates immersive audio stories that actually feel relevant for young Arab listeners. We started by taking classic stories like Alf Layla wa Layla or the stories of Juha and Sindbad and adapting them for a modern digital audience. And then we started creating more contemporary original drama series, which we script ourselves. And they have all been flying off the shelves and topping the Apple Podcasts charts. We distribute this content across all major audio platforms, who luckily for us are vying for market share in a market where they really need localized Arabic language content. And we're just scratching the surface. So we expect the market to reach around 60 million monthly podcast listeners by 2025 and $500 million in revenues. We've already started tapping into some of this growth. So we monetize our content in three main ways. First of all, we offer advertising and sponsorship on our shows. Secondly, we custom create podcasts for brands to own. And thirdly, we've recently launched a subscription service in collaboration with Apple. To put this in numbers, we've achieved 25% month-on-month growth last year alone, and we've hit over 6 million podcast downloads. Not only that, well, we've partnered with some of the biggest brands in the region, especially in the UAE. Our next step is to scale up by building a content factory that can churn out this content and automate the monetization. We have a really strong team, an incredible advisory board. And if, like us, you feel that Arabs really deserve better narratives, then please join us. We'd love to have you on board.
Right on the dot, Layla. How did you do that?
It's media.
It is media. Fantastic. That was great. I'd certainly be one of your consumers of your media. It looks very pertinent to people like us and very exciting. So let the judges, I know Nabil had a question. So Nabil, would you like to start?
Yep, thanks. Layla, great presentation. This ticks all the boxes, you know, very relevant to these days, huge market potential. It kind of reminded me of the explosive growth that a company like Mawdua is experiencing in terms of this lack of Arabic content. But unlike Mawdua, what you're offering is more on the artistic side. It's content creation, you know. So how are you managing that aspect of the content creation to make it, you know, relevant and not, you know, cringy for the Gen Zers? How are you making sure it's achieving its target, its objective?
Yeah. So thank you very much for the question. And as you say, you know, the creative industry is a very subjective one, and it's not easy to get the model right. So we're lucky enough that we have an incredible production team who are all extremely young and all from different parts of the Arab world. We do a lot of productions on the ground in Saudi, on the ground in Egypt, and they're all very much kind of tuned in to what young Arabs are looking for. So we sort of experiment with different types of content. And what we've realized is that a lot of these shows that focus on the kind of nostalgic element and bring our traditional stories to the fore, but make them kind of somehow relevant to the younger generations, actually do really, really well, because people are hungry for these old stories to continue. It's just that they don't want to read and they're not available in a kind of palatable format in other forms of media. So we learn a lot from the content we produce, and we continue adapting. And once we have a big hit, we just continue to produce season after season after season.
You're not going to compete with Netflix at one point, right?
We're going to partner with Netflix. They're actually producing a lot of podcasts in the US, and we're trying to do some in Arabic for them.
Fantastic. Any other questions? No?
Great.
Okay, fantastic, Leila. Thank you so much. Just before you leave, because you've got a minute there, what is your customer acquisition rate? Like, I mean, is it expensive to? Are you doing most of your customer acquisitions through marketing, or is it getting that viral component?
Yeah, actually, so we're very fortunate that we haven't spent anything on marketing so far. So all the growth that we've had has been completely organic. And we're able to do that because we have good relationships with all our distribution partners like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Rami, Deezer, who all are looking for sort of high quality local content that they can push to the front of their app stores or the front of their apps to their listeners. To help sort of reduce churn and keep their listeners locked in. So they do a lot of the marketing for us. Now, eventually we realize we need to get to a point where we own that direct customer relationship. And that's why we're in the process of building our own app that will enable us to speak to those customers directly.
Fantastic. Great. Wow. Lovely. Leila, thank you so much. Appreciate your time and being here with us. Next, we will be having TELUS Touch. Please. TELUS Touch. Hold on. Yes, Jad.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Jad Shalawi here, founder and CEO of TELUS Touch. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Great. So I have also here Sam, our CFO, Sam Sivarajan. Our company is at the inflection point that every investor looks for. For the last 4 years, we've been getting our product ready to generate multi-year, multi-million-dollar contracts. We have some of the largest North American financial institutions working with us and partnerships with Microsoft and Salesforce. And we have been building a quick-to-launch strategy that helps the company scale really fast with the right partners. Clients are the fuel of any business. And for every dollar being spent on CRMs, $10 are being spent on the client experience, creating a $500 billion market opportunity. Now, think about it for a second. Trying to call a client or have a meeting with them has limitations. How many meetings can you do every day? And emails, even if you send a mass email, do not bring any data back about clients to better serve them. So in a way, clients cannot really see what an institution is doing for them, and institutions can't really see what their clients need from them. So what we've done, we've built a platform that quickly launches digital experiences to understand clients like never before and bring back easily actionable insights that's unique in order to do things that your competition cannot do. Now, let me show you how our technology works. In less than 10 minutes, you can build an interactive and personalized digital experience to share and receive information from your clients. And without any manual entry, institution can showcase the value of the advice that they give and at the same time get back AI-driven insights to better serve their clients. We are actually appreciated by our clients because they view us as the missing link between their CRM and their client portal. And if you actually look a bit at this mechanics, you have an advisor experience on one end and that the actual client cannot see. And you have a client experience on the other that the advisor cannot see. So we've connected both, and we have an ROI-driven approach where we understand the business objectives of an institution. And without any integration, we managed to launch a portal in either Salesforce or Microsoft that institutions can use directly. And this is probably the biggest driver that will get our company to 7 million in ARR in the next 18 months. Last, I want to tell you more about our team. Our technology is patent pending, and we have a domain expert in Professor Montazemi that is one of the leaders in North America in cognitive maps and fuzzy logic.
Okay, Jad, I'd like to stop you right there. That sounds also a very interesting presentation, but allow me to open it up to some questions, please.
Thank you very much.
You can maybe go through the last couple of slides if you've missed them, if you've got a chance.
This is the last slide, so I'll use it as needed. The question. Thank you, Basem.
Okay.
Hi, Jad, this is Mick. Just a question on the initial starting point of getting all the data in order to personalize your initial outreach. How are you going to do that?
This is a great question. So as soon as an institution works with us, with one click, they download our app inside either Salesforce or Microsoft. And then they can map any field that they have on their CRM or legacy system that's connected to the CRM in the touch point for hyper-personalization. And any data that our technology generates comes back to their CRM without any manual entry. So if someone is panicking, someone is worried, someone needs an insurance policy, all of that comes back to the CRM seamlessly.
Great. Preeti, Michael, do you have a follow-up on that?
Yeah, just to follow up, because I'm still struggling to understand where do you get the initial data points from in order to actually do this personalization. I understand there is legacy information in the CRM, but if you really want to hyper-personalize, you have to get the data somewhere, which can only be generated by the user. And the question is, how do you obtain that?
So let me give you a very practical example. Let's say you want to take tombstone data about a client. That it's sitting in the CRM, and you can map this field to a touch point just by adding it to the touch point. So this is how the flow comes from the CRM inside the touch point. So you can hyper personalize that field, and any data that comes from the touch point, from the answers, comes back to this contact without any manual entry. So this is how the two-way connectivity works. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Great. Preeti, you've got a question there? You're on mute, I think, Preeti.
Thank you. Thanks, Jared, for that presentation. One quick question. Help me understand the competition landscape and what is your USP when compared to those people. Over to you. Thank you.
Excellent, great. So basically, we're competing with any type of technology that's creating either marketing automation or client experience, digital experiences. And the way we're actually competing is that rather than having one-way communication with the client, we have interactive experiences that bring back contextual data. We process the information to convert it into campaigns. So rather than just having one-way communication with clients, this interactivity creates a much deeper understanding, and we convert it into either an opportunity to upsell a client or to retain a client or to productively manage that relationship through the workforce.
Hey, Jad,
those are the, sorry, very quick one, Basem.
Yeah.
Those are the mechanics. Any particular company that you are competing with in your particular market that you're trying to enter? Thank you.
Do you want me to answer that, Peri?
Yes, please. Just in a few seconds, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So basically, because the team has led financial institutions and we have this deep domain expertise, we're able to first of all understand that the bank needs these experiences readily available to quickly launch. So how fast we go to market with them. And also they need to see results that are ROI driven to come back quickly in front of their sales force. So our speed to launch and our speed to bring back data that can generate revenue is what's giving us the business that we're getting.
Okie dokie, that is fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Great, thank you very much, Jad. I appreciate your presentation. Judges, if you remember to just go back to that screen where you can decide on the marks for each startup, because then you might forget at some point. Can I just ask, there's a few mics that might be muted, if that's possible? Yeah, perfect. Maybe another mic there somewhere. Okay. Next, we'll have Fanadik.
Yeah.
Please, when you're ready, Saad, go ahead.
Yeah, just waiting for the pitch deck to open. So, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Assalamu alaikum.
and hello all to the esteemed judges. So I was born as a servant and I will die as a servant. I am the son of a man who has dedicated his life to serving the people who have made a commitment to fulfilling their religious duties by visiting a place which is unfamiliar to them, a place where the language is foreign in to their native tongues, and on a journey that lacks a support structure due to an offline booking process and shady cash transactions. As I grew up under this honorable man's wing, I learned to spread my own. In an ecosystem considered ritual-centric and commercially driven, failing to create an impactful Islamic pilgrimage experience for these noble spirits. Lack of innovation and democratization would be a waste of an opportunity and a failure from us as Muslim businessmen. My name is Saad Salman, and in 2018, my team and I launched Fanatic.com, the homegrown North American startup operating in Saudi Arabia and Pakistan as a global player for disruptive technology, leveraging AI, community building, and digital transformation to enrich the Umrah pilgrimage experience to Mecca, Saudi Arabia for the 8 million annual travelers using technology and online services. Pre-COVID-19, our SAM was $30 billion US, growing threefolds by 2030. And the shift into COVID-19 related health sensitivities and travel concerns provided Fanatic.com with a room for innovation. Based on our regulator's latest policy, the newly implemented exclusive global distribution system, Maqam, evaluated by KPMG, approval has been awarded to Fanatic.com as one of 14 companies that need to serve the global B2B players for all 8 million Umrah transactions that must be processed through only a Maqam licensed system. Average transaction values anywhere between $500 US to $1,500 US. Fanatic.com implements the best practices with the utmost transparency through our B2B and B2C travel OTAs built on a proprietary AI-based system. Moreover, in 2021, we have secured demand from signed LOIs for 100,000 travelers. We have also inked joint ventures with Pakistan International Airlines and ARY Media Group to create Umrah by PIA and Umrah by ARY, powered by Fanatic.com, in an effort to leverage their customer base and brand to drive our CAC down to $2 and increase our LTV to $2,000 US by reaching directly to the end consumer, the traveler. We have also secured brand partnerships with Saudi Tourism Authority, Hashu Hospitality Group, Gotham School of Hospitality to establish ourselves as the market leader for the Islamic pilgrimage market. Morale is extremely high within our team members, with motivation and discipline being the key drivers to reach the massive milestones mentioned above. Pre-COVID-19, achievements include over 8,000 registered B2B users from 5 continents, 200,000 visitors, and generated $1.2 million US in sales, serving 5,000 plus customers with 6 global offices. Easing of COVID-19 restrictions, religious travel sentiment, and resilience of the Umrah travelers, built up demand and high barriers to entry are contributing to a strong sales forecast for us. Our strategy and execution is extraordinary as we are going through a transformation in which Fanatic.com is massively de-risked and it's highly scalable and forecasting very healthy profits. Fanatic.com is completely bootstrapped. Okay.
Saad, I'm going to start with the first question. Talk to us about competition and your competitive advantage because you've run out of time. So please.
Yeah, no problem. So I would say our competitive advantages are, number one, our experienced founders that actually grew in this industry, our corporate social responsibility program, our value-added services, our strategic partners, our focused markets, and our actual focus on the uplifting the pilgrim's experience, which is the end consumer, where our competition is just focused on the actual transaction and the commercial aspect of the whole experience.
Oh, I certainly love the space for those drowning in the or heading towards their pilgrims. I mean, you're making their lives so much easier. Mick, you've got a question?
Great presentation, Saad. Thanks a lot for that. And it looks like you're also very much into the details of the numbers. Maybe you can comment a little bit on your customer acquisition costs and the payback periods that you're anticipating.
Beautiful. So basically right now, our customer acquisition cost pre-COVID was roughly $6 because pre-COVID, there was the system, the new system that was implemented by our regulator did not exist. So we were forced to actually go and capture the B2B users in their home countries. So, you know, we would have to spend money on PPC, advertising, all of that. Now, because of COVID-19, number one, our customer acquisition drove down really, really low. One, because of the system is forcing every single transaction to go through only one of the 14 portals. And we are one of those 14 portals. So now we don't have to go to the customer, but rather the customer is looking for us.
Because you have it up here right now, I mean, what typically is being looked at is the CAC to LTV ratio, which in the previous slide looks excessively high. Is that really the, in quotes, money that flows to you? And
yes. So what I would like to say, Mike, is basically the LTV is basically a figure drawing to the GMV rather than the actual sales into our company. Our sales is essentially our gross profit, but we are forecasting roughly $100 million in GMV for this from October 2022 to October 2021 to October 2022.
Thanks.
No problem.
Fantastic, Saad. Thank you. That was a great presentation. If that's okay, we will move on to the next speaker. Thank you, Saad, and good luck with your venture.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Okay, next we have Rashan Pani. So Rohit, all the way from
Hello.
India. Can you please share your screen and go ahead?
Yeah. Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Just a second. Yeah. So good evening, everyone. Myself, Rohit Srivastav from India, founder of Rashan Pani. So welcome to Rashan Pani, online network intelligent marketplace. So problem that we are trying to solve is there are 12 million ration or kirana stores in India who want to go digital, but there is no such platform which can allow them to do their business online, like their inventory management and logistic networking. Moreover, FMCG product database is so huge that it needs separate search engine or marketplace for providing online solution to SMEs in this sector. Rashan Pani is exclusively a marketplace for more than 100 million SMEs of FMCG sector, including ration shops, farmers, anaj mandis, fruits, dairy businesses, water businesses, to even a street coconut seller. When kirana store wants to execute
Rohit, is it me or is it everyone? Are we losing you?
I can't hear anything.
In fact,
Everyone, I guess.
Yeah. Rohit, sorry, we missed that last section. Can you repeat it? And I think the connection is not that great, maybe.
Oh.
Maybe turning off your video might help, just so that we have the audio.
Hello, Rohit.
Now is it audible? Okay.
Yes, it just comes and goes. So you
common name in the household of the.
Go on. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. So 70% of India is still non-urban. So it has major chances to penetrate internet technology to deepest roots and corners of the country. So the divider we have is the name resonates with Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat campaigns. Also, India is a country of many religions, caste, and creeds, and Rashan Pani unites all of them on a common layer because Rashan and Pani means food and water itself. So people are using this domain in UK and Canada also, other than India, of course. Like rashanpani.co.uk and rashanpani.ca are available online domains. Also, competition that we see are Grofers, Udan, and online Rashan Pani. This domain is working in Bokaro city of India. Also, people are already using this domain with different spellings in different cities of the country and abroad to take their businesses online. So plan is to make it a centralized and powerful brand. Also, we were selected for top 100 startups at Amazon Sambhav Entrepreneurship Challenge this year. That was very encouraging for us. Moreover, if we talk about the branded names like Tata Salt, Tata Tea, contrary to that, there are so many local salt and tea makers also who need recognition like these bigger brands to go hand in hand with this changing and thriving digital economy. Like these tea bagan in Assam and lychee bagan in Bihar of India, these all need to be good digital. Also, especially talking about this pic of mine was taken by a friend of mine who is a coconut seller. He actually want to make a good customer relation. So every time I go in, because I quite frequently buy from him, so he took a pic from his own phone, and that's how it indicates that they are really in desperate need for some digital transformation or digital support. Our web presence is this domain which is running as a, and these are domains which are available. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Rohit. Thank you.
Rohit, बहुत अच्छा लगा आपके presentation सुनकर. Very nice presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Just a few questions. How are you going to deal with the logistical challenges in the deeper parts of India? And are you tying up with anyone?
Yeah, so basically we know that there are many logistic companies already in the market, like Dunzo or Delivery, or so many are there. We can tie up with them on a larger scale when we of course scale up, because from Ration Pani, see, what we wanted to do is we wanted to build a B2B networking website. But from Ration Pani, since I'm running it for a few years, so I know that people expect Ration Pani doorstep delivery at least. So we have to fulfill that service line at least. So for that, we need to be very sure of, or very perfect about this logistic or deliveries in every city at least. So that is one service line. And along with that, there are other service lines too, like B2B and AI-based services that we are developing also. So partnership with more advanced teams and branded names can help us in doing that more efficiently.
Any differentiation from InstaShop, Flipkart, JioMart, Grofers, the ones you mentioned, that you're
Yeah, the difference is they are only doing the service of grocery delivery or FMCG delivery, but we are actually a marketplace for FMCG, whose database is almost infinity number. Because if you talk about Amazon or Flipkart, their product range, if you go to website, A to Z, from A to Z. But if you talk about only FMCG, in itself, there is a huge database, and that requires a separate search engine or marketplace. And in fact, their own SMEs are also so much in number that will be more than 100 million, according to my slide, more than 100 million in India only. So that's why they will be more engaging and traffic will be more, and it can create a lot of revenue channels as well.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Any other questions, please?
One quick one, please.
Yes,
what
please.
stage are you at, Rohit? And what are the milestones? What stage are you at? What are you doing right now?
Yeah, we are actually running as a grocery portal, a delivery system in Delhi. We have a website and or app, but we actually want, and of course, I've shown the strategies that in Bokaro, in many cities, Ration Pani with different spelling, people are taking their ration stores online. So my plan is to make it centralized. Or a powerful brand in India at least, because there should be common platform. Not everybody in their city using their different domain names for their FMCG delivery. So they can be a powerful centralized brand, and we are developed an app for our SaaS-based product. Prototype is ready, but again, for all sort of departments, funding, and the whole engine going in a more smooth and efficient way, we need to scale up. That's it.
Not very clear, but that's okay. Maybe can talk another time. But thank you, Basem. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Preeti. Thank you, Rohit. And next we have all the way from Australia, who's been quite patient with us until now. We will be welcome Onco Life, please. Onco Life, and that is, yeah, there you go.
Right. Oh, yeah. Can you all see and hear me?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. All right. Hello, and I thank the judges for this opportunity. Due to time constraints, I will only present one of our 3 focuses at our company. So today, I will tell you about our platform for cancer-specific, but also toxicity-free cancer therapeutics. Nearly 40% of everyone listening now will get cancer, and 10 million people would die every year. But despite this, drug development is faltering, with around 97% of all cancer drugs failing during development. This is largely due to all current therapies being non-specific to the cancer and therefore causing severe and toxic side effects. So clearly something has to change. At Oncolife Therapeutics, we've solved this problem by creating a drug discovery platform that targets only genes turned on in cancer. Also, what makes us unique is that our drugs directly target RNA, similar to the current COVID vaccines by Moderna and BioNTech. This is a huge step forward as we can search 50 times more of our DNA for truly cancer-specific targets. This slide shows cancer cells from a lethal brain tumor called glioblastoma growing untreated on the left and without therapy on the right. Once our therapy takes effect, I'm sure you can see that the cancer cells are entirely wiped out. There's currently no targeted therapy for this disease. This shows one of 6 unique therapies we produced for this one untreatable disease. And like the mRNA vaccines, these highly effective drugs targeting RNA will be made far more quickly and cheaply than traditional small molecule, antibody, or cell-based therapies. Now, current cancer drugs have side effects because they target rapidly dividing cancer cells, but they cannot distinguish between the dividing cancer cells and the normal dividing cells in our body called stem cells. So we've shown that stem cells and cancer cells are more than 95% similar, but there are important functional differences that we can find. We've used these differences to design drugs to target genes that are critical to cancer survival, but are inactive in stem cells and other tissues of the body. Surprisingly, this has not been done before. Our platform can be used for any cancer, which collectively is an enormous market. We have targets for 10 cancers so far and have successfully tested 3 experimentally. We're looking for seed funding to perform experiments for preclinical data to enable the start of human trials. And after about 3 to 5 years, we will either partner with or sell the platform to larger pharmaceutical companies who are able to complete these clinical trials. The idea of toxicity-free cancer drugs will be a reality within the next decade, and we are leading this innovation. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks. I have a quick question. What is your funding base? Are you planning to look for any federal funding from countries like US who encourage a lot of this through NIH or through other investors? Because the lead time from preclinical trials to the end product going to market could be years, and not a lot of investors have that kind of patience.
Yeah, so really the funding will be driven by seed investors who want to see after 3 to 5 years an exit. So those exits will either be partnerships with larger pharmaceutical companies for our first cancer products that come off our assembly line basically, or selling the platform. So platform sales for smaller companies happen all the time because large pharmaceutical companies are very good at development, but they're not very good at discovery. So they're looking for platforms like this. And there have been a number of platforms in the last few years that have sold for $1 billion or more doing these drug discovery projects. So we're looking at, 3 to 5 years as an exit.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Maybe one question from my end. You mentioned that this is one of the 3 focus areas. Is that also the one you will continue to focus on for the foreseeable future, and the others are further down the roadmap? Question 1, linked to that, when do you anticipate that you can commercialize it first?
Yeah, and those are very good questions. So this is the one that's probably the quickest route to an exit. The other 2, the one is a metabolism one on a novel peptide for type 2 diabetes and anti-aging. And the third one's a mechanism for anti-aging for regeneration. But this one is far further down the track. And so we see that the investment that'll come in first will be for this because this is the closest to exit or partnering. And
when do you anticipate commercialization?
So we probably wouldn't commercialize the drug ourselves. Obviously, that's a very long and arduous route to take. So we would look for, basically commercialization to make a partnering deal with a large pharmaceutical company within the first 1 to 3 years, because our in vivo studies where our seed funding will be put towards. Once that comes out, that's when the larger pharma companies are really looking to buy you out.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Great, thank you. That's a very exciting journey. Anything with cancer related has got us all very soft to everyone's heart. So thank you for that, and wish you all the best of luck on that journey.
Thank you very much.
All right, so next we've got QuadFi, who have been also very patient to get here. We'll have one more after them, and that will be the finale for today. So thank you very much, and maybe we can have Team Jordan Berger, please go on.
All right, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you to the organizers, judges, and fellow startups. It's an honor to present today. Our vision is to create the first international bank focused on immigrants. Our company is founded by first-generation immigrants who faced a common problem for all immigrants and have solved it. It's a problem as old as time, but one increasingly relevant in a globalized world, which is how do you trust a stranger with your money? The problem is consumer credit scoring, and it's based only on the past and only on part of your balance sheet. This affects 100 million young people and immigrants in North America on an ongoing basis. It's a problem that everyone faces because of their origin or age. They cannot access affordable credit. And essentially, no matter what their future potential is, the current credit scoring system that is dominant in North America and in much of the world is backward looking and only looks at part of your assets. It does not use data to predict future credit worthiness, and it fails essentially at its one job. So these are the people we serve, immigrants and young people. What they face now in terms of credit opportunities is predatory lending. Lack of access to credit is a huge obstacle facing newcomers and young people in countries that have this kind of credit system. It's a massive market. The United States and Canada will continue to grow alongside Africa entirely through immigration over the next couple of generations. And immigration will continue to drive economic growth globally. We seek to serve that market. We've developed an ML AI solution for this problem, which is based on 3 models. First of all, we do traditional credit scoring, the FICO data model. Then we look at new financial data. So we're looking at open banking information. And then we look at granular educational data. So basically the actual applicants' credit, GPA, course load, what they're studying, how it relates to local employment conditions, et cetera. This comes together in a weighted average, which is where our CEO has his PhD, and produces a QuadFi score that is significantly more accurate than FICO, the dominant way of scoring people. Just as a quick experiment, we took 500 applicants from our database of 1 million files. For traditional credit scorers and banks, there's no differentiation between these 500 people. They're all subprime. When we calculated it, there was massive dispersion, which means that there's a huge opportunity for arbitrage to the upside and downside. Our process is entirely automated using APIs. We use educational, open banking, and FICO inputs, and we can make a decision without any human involvement within minutes to provide financial support. We've tested it using actual money. We raised $1 million in Europe. We had massive demand, a CAC of under $100, and we have a loan book that has been in place for over 1.5 years. We still have 0% default, 0% delinquency through COVID.
Okay, Jordan, thank you
we're
so much for that.
We are focused on digital inclusion, and this is our team. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jordan. That was very helpful. I know as an immigrant to Canada, this would have been really helpful in the good old days. So fantastic. I appreciate that. Can we have any questions from the judges? And if not, I've got a few myself.
Thanks, Jordan. Wonderful presentation. How do you, are these collateral free loans, or how do you make sure the assets backing the loan, and are you backed by any financial institutions?
So we, in our pilot, we focused on the most difficult part of consumer credit, which is unsecured consumer credit. And that is continuing, that is actually where we're focused, unsecured consumer credit. The same methodology can be applied across all consumer verticals. So we're looking very closely at auto financing, for example, So the same technology can be used, but we believe that our system is adequate for unsecured personal credit, and that is the loan that we have actually tested in our pilot.
As you know,
Right.
the student educational loans have become a big liability in the US, and not many students are able to pay back.
Yeah, it's a major problem, and it's going to be regulated, and we want to lean into that regulation. We think there's a huge opportunity.
All right, I have a question,
Mohammed?
Jordan.
Yes.
I'm not sure if I understood your model. Are you a technology provider or a bank? And if you are a bank, what type of license do you have and what jurisdiction?
So the core of our company is this AI/ML model that's being tested extensively with historical data and live data. We are applying that to our own lending platforms. We've created an end-to-end lending platform that allows us to offer loans in Canada. We'll be working in the United States with partners. But essentially, this software can be applied in a B2B approach. Our goal is to grow through B2C because the demand is massive and there is no one providing this kind of product. But eventually, it's to pivot to B2B and implement this new underwriting standard, which is much more accurate within the heart of partner institutions. So we're talking to a major Canadian bank, but frankly, a lot of the value here is the ability to demonstrate it before they actually adopt. They are familiar with some of these techniques that we're using, but we're very, very advanced.
So you're selling the technology to the bank. Is that what your model is?
At this stage, no. We have raised debt. We've got over $150 million of debt to deploy. We are going to deploy that on our own lending platform and in partnership with banks that we'll work with in the United States, for example, for lending purposes. But over time, we can pivot and implement this strategy because we can do it all through APIs. So it can be integrated directly into the decision-making process of any financial institution. And from our perspective, from an accuracy perspective, it should be. So we can pivot to a B2B opportunity with strategic partners.
Okay, last question. The 150 million, this is your liquidity that you'll provide the lending, correct? And
yes.
What type of license? So, for you to offer financial services, you need a license. What type of license you're operating under?
So in Canada, it is not heavily regulated. So we are working with one of Canada's largest law firms, Davies, who has a small stake in our firm, to make sure that we are completely compliant here. In the United States, we need 2 licenses, one for lending and one for handling money. Typically, the way fintechs do that is by working with a US banking partner. So we've got discussions with a number of US regional banks that work with fintechs to basically piggyback on their license. This is being done. Alternative lending is quite common, so there are a lot of ways to work with the existing regulatory system. So that is really where we're adding massive potential value, is around providing better underwriting. For our partners, they will be able to identify future prime lenders years before their competitors. And for the customers, they get access to affordable credit years before they would normally do it. Right now, any young person or an immigrant who comes to Canada, the United States, sets off with essentially their hands tied behind their back. They are unfairly held back. It has an impact on the economy. It has an impact on them for no reason other than poor data management. And we have solved that problem. And that's why we think the potential to replace FICO is absolutely there. But we can grow massively on a B2C scale until we reach that pivot point.
Jordan, thank you. We'll take one last quick question from Omar, please. Aga?
Yeah, thanks, Jordan. Profitability-wise or margin-wise, can you share some information?
So there's a fundamental tension at the heart of our company between margins and volume. We want to grow through volume. Ideally, we want to grab the cheapest cost of capital and pass that on to people. We want to offer a prime rate to a prime customer that we've identified years ahead. That being said, there are massive margin opportunities because in most of North America, the space between, let's say, a high single-digit lending rate, and then the 19-20% credit card and higher payday lending is empty. That is a space we can play in. So we've got massive margins to work with, but as from a perspective of driving a unicorn and fundamentally changing the way that the world thinks about potential by using new data, we want to grow through volume. So the strategy is to leverage ESG capital. My background's in responsible investment. I come out of pension funds. As soon as we hit that inflection point, there are very few products for social that provide social good. Lots of environmental, lots of corporate governance. I know there's a massive demand for this, and we're going to leverage that cheap capital to revolutionize banking in North America and hopefully the world.
Jordan, thank you so much. This is fantastic. I really have to, sorry to cut you off, but you know, just because we've got one last startup, this has been definitely an eye-opener. Great startup so far. And thank you for your time. Please feel free to reach out offline to whoever could be interested further. Can I please just get the last startup for the day, Tao, who squeezed in quickly. We'll just get a 3-minute presentation and then wrap up straight after.
Thank you, Basem. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, Basem. Thanks for all the great startups that presented today. I'm going to present about a solution that can make them shine through media output. My name is Ali. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Tao Media. While Tao itself means the natural order and path to unlock our full potential, Tao Media is an end-to-end digital platform to hire media freelancers in a fast and cost-efficient way, unlocking the full potential of clients and freelancers. What's unique about us is that we're a platform to serve the complicated needs of the media industry. We're scalable, and we'll achieve scalability and speed through advanced AI usage and rich freelancer databases. And we're aiming to reduce the process, which currently takes hours or sometimes even days, to just minutes. And we'll have presence in underserved developing countries. The problems being faced by clients in this place is that there is high cost of full-time employment, changing needs, lengthy and manual booking process adds to the cost, and payment issue, especially with the international assignments. As for the freelancers, you have difficulty accessing new clients, getting late payments, reliance on middle agents that take a big chunk of their income, and lack of contractual relationship with clients. The platform itself is just an end-to-end process where a client can come in, request a freelancer, a media freelancer anywhere in the world, and get confirmed within minutes. Also manage the assignment as well as deal with the payments. And to achieve that, and through the technology, and what differentiates us is that we're just not another freelancing platform. The media industry needs are complicated and usually labor intensive. To automate this process, we will rely heavily on advanced AI and richness of the database, and this includes freelancer profile understanding to automate the onboarding process, search query understanding, matching infrastructure, and pricing engine to process requests within a minute. This will give us an edge over competitors that is not easily replicated and gives us the scalability needed for our expansion plans. The team, myself, have experience in different startups, including launching Uber in Riyadh. Tony Saman, expert in the field, worked with top channels internationally and regionally as a client and as a freelancer and as a person hiring freelancers. We have Ibrahim Al-Far, who worked in Google, Microsoft, and currently in charge of the API governance at Expedia Group. Omar and Andrew are our advisors, and the lead data scientist, Diyal Azzuddin, PhD in machine learning. What has been done so far is that we started operating in May. We got 1 transaction closed in May and 9 in June. These came from 4 clients. One of them is a major TV station in the Middle East. And the MVP is currently being developed. Thank you.
Ali, that was fantastic. Thank you very much. I love the fact that there's a data scientist on board. They usually love crunching numbers. I'll open up questions for everyone because, you know, before I pitch in. So please feel free to jump in with any questions, gentlemen. Or ladies, sorry, and gentlemen, of course. More important.
Can you tell us quickly about the market size? You know, how many freelance media, you know, freelancers are out there? How many freelance days can you expect in a, let's say, in a country like Saudi or the UAE in a year? I mean, just for us to understand, what market size are we talking about?
It's very difficult to give exact estimates for separate countries because of the lack of data available online. But on overall, globally, the freelancing industry is estimated to be around $1.5 trillion. The part related to multimedia and media, around $400 billion. And from that, I think around $130 billion is related to the market we're targeting, which is high-end media freelancing, TV channels, big corporates, or any agency that requires high level of media freelancing. Most of that is happening now offline. So getting exact data will be a bit difficult. I can go into more details later as well.
Sorry, okay, I understand the dollar amount you're putting, but like, let's say you have 500 people registering in the UAE.
Yeah.
Is that 500 out of 5,000 freelancers? Is it out of 50,000 media freelancers? So, I mean, if you don't know the how many people are out there for you to register, how do you know how much growth you have?
We do have information about freelancers, and I mean, exact in each country, it is a bit difficult because, as I said, information is not available. But we know, for example, we have estimates of, for example, we did estimates for UAE of number of potential clients available, how much each would require. Mostly we focused on the media sector, but also we can do this, replicate the same study for different sectors as well.
Okay, Ali, what is your what is your burn rate?
At the moment, it's very low. It's mostly the cost of basically development and the people developing. We're working because it's a new startup. We're working without salaries and stuff, without income. Most of the people working with us as advisors and as part-time workers, they're getting paid in equity until we raise funds, and then we can pay them and move on.
Okay.
Are you different from Fiverr in any way?
Yeah, I mean, the competitive landscape, we have three main types of competitors. We have the big freelancing platforms like Fiverr and Upwork. You have media-focused freelancing platforms, and then you have general databases like Facebook, where you have data about the freelancers available. For the big ones like Fiverr and Upwork, they don't focus on this. Their focus is on the segments that have high volume, and this mostly leads to focus on freelancers that charge low prices and have high volumes, and they lack the presence outside the United States and Western Europe and the media industry. For example, just a quick example: if you look at a videographer in Riyadh and you go to Fiverr, you won't find anyone, or you won't find the options that will give you the specialty and the experience you need to find. So there is a gap in the market that we're trying to go after.
Okay, great. Any other questions? Nope, I think, Ali, that was nice and sweet, it seems, and that's probably a fantastic way to end this hour and change, hour and a half of some going through some of the most phenomenal startups that we've come across in the region. With some fantastic founders, and I think, as you all might agree, that any investment that takes place is usually not in the concept as much as it is in the founders, because that's who really are able to drive any idea and concept. And so, hats off and a big round of applause to all the founders and the presentations that were really fantastic. You guys did an excellent job. Thank you so much for that. On another note, I would like to remind all the judges to just go ahead and tally up the results. Now, the startup that would be selected as the #1 startup from this region will get a chance to join the next round, the World Cup finals, which is in July 15th. We encourage you all to sign up. You'll find it on the website for those interested. I think that would be a wonderful event. I'm not sure if my screen is on. Okay. Yeah, so with that, allow me to consolidate the results in the last few seconds.
Basem, do we need to like press a submit button, or we just like rate the company and it automatically submits to you?
Yeah, no, I think it's already submitted. So for all of those that have actually submitted, I see everybody there and all the results there. So that is excellent. I'm just going to take a snapshot of this so that we can ensure that we've got this results. All right, so wow, great results here, very close, extremely close. Yes, it's such a tough decision to actually come out and judge the top 3 startups, which will take them step by step so that we can build the anxiety, but very close. I mean, we have 2 companies that have been tied up in 3rd place here, 2 ventures. So Eduployment and Design Hubs, you have both ranked in 3rd place. That's a fantastic achievement out of all this big list of very exciting startups that have been here. So congratulations to both Eduployment, and Design Hubs who have both were able to get the 3rd place ranking. Second,
we need background music and a drum roll.
I know, I wish I had that. Anyone can contribute that from their side, please, by all means. All right, maybe if the founders would be jumping up and down, that would maybe create things, the excitement there. But anyway, that's the 3rd. That is 3rd place. Now for 2nd place, we have all the way from Canada. We've got QuadFi coming in 2nd place. Congratulations, QuadFi. Fantastic. Congratulations. All right, and the winner.
Messed the timing.
Yes, the winner in today's event, and we're all winners in one way. Everyone's a winner for the remarkable job and performance that they've all done. But the winner in today's judge, as per all the judges have all decided today unanimously that Finial Media has done a phenomenal job in presenting. There you go.
Myself for a minute to say thank you so much.
Layla, thank you. That was a fantastic job. Excellent.
Oh, thank you so much. Wow, what an honor. I really appreciate it.
Yes, I mean, I think you've touched everybody's heart with your very precise and fantastic presentation and the business model and the founders behind it. We congratulate you on doing a fantastic performance today, and we thank everybody, all the other startups and everyone else that was with us in terms of the guests, the organizers, the judges, and the founders themselves for a fantastic event. And lots of learning, lots of excitement. We see lots of great future for all these great startups. There is a final that we can see Layla go towards. She'll be nominated towards going to the final in the World Cup in on July 15. If anyone's got any last closing remarks, please feel free to do that. I think we have a pretty large audience for that, but please jump in. And if not, I'd like to thank you all and hope we can reconnect in future events.
And innovation.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
All the best.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Take care.
It was lovely.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
And of course, a big congratulations to the winners, the participants, from myself, and from the LPC as a whole. We are thrilled that the FCC to provide, the winner with a space for that dream to come to fruition, and we look forward to having you to our community. So without much more suspense,
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. And hopefully we will connect in future events. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.